G'day there guys, it's your Aussie Hubby Markee, back at it again with another r/EntitledParents video. Now if you love me as much as I love you, then you know what to do. I want you to mosey on over to that old like button and tackle it like Crocodile Dundee. Maybe even chuck an Aussie flag down in the comments. Now with that out of the way, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and get ready for some good content. And our first story today, entitled Mum Wants to Make Hand Sanitizer Appear Out of Thin Air. In all the time browsing this subreddit, I never thought I would have anything to post for myself. Unfortunately, today, I came across my very own grade A Karen. So a bit of background information. I work as a cashier/stocker at a local grocery store in my town that's not as popular as the other supermarkets, but we still get a lot of customers. Due to the current situation we're in, the store has been completely out of things like hand sanitizer and Clorox wipes for many weeks. Because every store in the world wants hand sanitizer at the moment, we can't just order some in and have it arrive the very next day. Fortunately, we can still order regular groceries and pharmacy items like normal. And today, I was assigned with stocking the shelves in our health and beauty/pharmacy aisle. I had a pallet piled high with drugs, makeup, and first aid supplies, and I needed to get it all onto the shelves as quickly as I could. It's worth noting that our hand sanitizer is kept in this aisle as well, meaning that there's a fairly substantial amount of foot traffic coming through looking to see what we've got in stock. As I started putting items on the shelves, I had a few people come up to me every now and again and ask if I was stocking any hand sanitizer. And I always made sure to respond politely that we were unable to order any, and that we hoped to get some in as soon as possible. Now, most people were satisfied with that answer, and went on their way, letting me get back to my work. But of course, it all turned to crap when a woman with a Karen haircut and her young child walked up to me. Entitled Mum is like, "Excuse me, could we have some hand sanitizer before you put it on the shelves?" "I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we weren't able to order any hand sanitizer, but we're hoping to get some in as soon as possible." I tried turning back to the shelves, but then Entitled Mother snapped her fingers to get my attention. "This is the aisle where hand sanitizer is kept, and my family needs it. Now give me some." "Look, I don't have any hand sanitizer, ma'am. We don't have any in stock at the moment." Entitled Mother gesturing to the cart full of boxes next to me. "You've got fresh stock right there. I bet you've got some in and you just want to keep it all for yourself." At this point, I'm getting really tired of this crap, and I'm like, "Ma'am, there is no hand sanitizer in this cart, or in the entire store. If there was, it would be the very first thing I put up, and I would have happily given you a bottle. But we didn't order any, I'm sorry." I could tell Entitled Mother was starting to get ticked, but I didn't really care at this point. She's like, "I know you've got hand sanitizer in that cart, and I won't leave until you give me a bottle." It was at this point that I realized she wasn't going to listen to me. So I just turned back to what I was doing and continued unloading my cart. I figured that if I finished stocking everything, she would finally see that there were in fact no bottles of hand sanitizer for me to give her. It took me about an hour to unload everything, and Entitled Mother refused to leave for the entire duration of me stocking the shelves. I felt bad for her poor kid. All he could do was stand there bored while his mum waited for something that would never come. Finally, when I emptied and collapsed the last box from the pallet, I turned back to Entitled Mother, and I said, "That's everything, ma'am. I'm sorry, but we simply don't have hand sanitizer in stock right now." At this point, Entitled Mother was red in the face, and she's like, "Well, surely you've got something in the back, or something. I'll take an employee hand sanitizer. If we had any in the back, we would have put it on the shelves already. I can't believe this. I'm sure you're just keeping all the hand sanitizer for yourself, you selfish brat." At this point, she grabbed her kid's hand and started stomping off before I could respond. I figured that was the end of it, but I stood corrected when I turned the corner and saw Entitled Mother having a heated debate to my manager. Entitled Mother accused me of hoarding the hand sanitizer to myself and not sharing with her and her sick son. He looked perfectly fine to me. The manager told her all the same crap that I told her, and she got all huffy, but finally realized that I was, in fact, telling the truth. She saw me watching their exchange and glared at me, flipped me the bird, great parenting right there, and dragged her kid out of the store. The manager asked me what happened, and I told him everything and we shared a bit of laughter. People love their freaking hand sanitizer these days. Don't they ever? And our next post is titled, "My mum, the entitled parent, says I ruined her day by planning my wedding the way that I want." So, my boyfriend of 2+ years recently proposed on top of the St. Louis Arch in front of his parents. He wanted his mum to record it, and a bunch of other people. I, of course, said yes and was crying. Total girl moment. My future mother-in-law sent the video to my dad, the good parent, and he texted me a congratulations and a "I knew you would say yes." My fiancé had asked his permission. At the end of the day, we decided to wait until after he graduates from college and gets his feet up. He graduates in 2021 and I graduate in 2024. Extra year for kinda double majoring, and he graduates first. So we decided to have the date set for November 24th, 2024, our dating anniversary / the day we meet. When I get home from visiting him and his parents at the end of the week, my dad hugs and congratulated me. Then we drove home. We got home and I put my stuff in my room. My mum, who has abused me from age 8 after my dad divorced her and is the entitled mother, came out of the guest room. My dad told me she was staying here so she could work. I told him if she doesn't bother me, I won't bother her. We then talked briefly about plans and stuff and what my fiancé and I had already decided. Then, I mentioned our plans for me to wear a black wedding dress and have him wear a white suit. He's tan and looks amazing in white. I, however, look terrible in light colours because of my Irish genetics. Black suits me a lot more, and my dad loves it. My mum came out of the guest room and said, "I'm going wedding dress shopping with you, so you don't screw my day up." Yes, her day. Not like I'm the one getting married or anything. I told her the wedding dress has already been picked out, which I have picked an idea out, not the dress set in concrete pick yet. And she stops and cries and says how I ruined her special moment. I told all this to my fiancé, who knows what she's like, and he said to calm down and reminded me that it's our wedding and we can do whatever we want. I also say that she'll probably wear white, and he said I'll get a buddy of mine to spill red wine on her. Don't be scared, it's okay. Big forgotten mention. He was the star quarterback on his high school football team. The buddies are his football teammates, meaning she won't dare go off on men twice her size with muscles the size of her head. I'll post updates as things unfold, but for now, I'm just happy I'll be married to the love of my life in 4 years. Holy crap, this kinda blew up. So I'll tell you an update. My fiancé and I might be planning on just giving her a fake invite with the wrong address far away, driving-wise, and hope that she doesn't get there in time. Update 2. Here is the wedding dress because people requested it. Oh my god, that is straight out of Game of Thrones or like a vampire. I love the aesthetic. Big ol' update. Since Corona is affecting everyone, my fiancé and I are started to do some light planning. 1. Thank you to all the well wishes. Fiancé and I are excited for the wedding and all his family is supportive. Youngest member in his family and the first one under 30 to propose. His amazing cousin James said he will gladly wear his Gandalf costume again. Wore it at my fiancé's graduation party. And the selective family I told are super happy. My oldest cousin / niece, and I can't wait. 2. Invitations, black and white of course, have been made, and we might book Land of Oz abandoned theme park for our venue to add to the feel of the party. They normally clean it up, but we're hoping they only clean up the rooms to get ready in. My dad, who took a lot of photography lessons, offered to do the photos. My bridal party has already been informed and all, but one who hasn't responded says yes. My best friend from camp, who's an amazing drag queen, found this story on Reddit and is offering to do my makeup for free if I bring everything makeup-wise. My godfather, shout out to Bobby, offered to do the DJing free as a wedding gift if I give him unlimited access to his favorite beer, which I said yes to. 3. My dad, fiancé, and I decided to hire security at the wedding in case of mum's troubles and pray they don't have to be used. 4. My fiancé and I also decided to have a small table set up with my mum's side's grandmother, dad's side's grandfather, and a 17-year-old cousin's photo set up as a for those who are here in spirit since they can't be here in person place. 5. We're also doing a pick a seat, not a side, where all family wants the knot is tied thing at our wedding. 6. For food, we're gonna have a pizza buffet, garlic bread, 3 pastas and 5 sauces, chicken pot pie in memory of my cousin, and donuts for the dinner. Cheap and everyone likes it. 7. We're planning on doing a whoever has the most amount of money in the jar gets to cake the face, to have some money for our honeymoon. 8. The mum update. So my mother is sick, but forces me physically to cook dinner every day. My dad has told her to back off. I have anemia and depression which can make me tired. When I am awake, she's insulting me, like, you should cut your meals if you want to be skinny and pretty for your wedding. You're so short. Better get some tall heels if you want to look normal at your wedding. I'm 5'1". Wow, look who's awake for once in their life. No wonder your fiancé doesn't want to have sex with you. You're so fat and ugly. Yikes, what a horrible bitch. He wants to wait until our honeymoon and I understand, etc. The worst one that's burned into my brain is, I wish I never gave birth to you, I hate you so much. Go burn in hell, mate. So my fiancé got a lot of sobbing phone calls that he just said, wanna play Uno? What a lovely man. So we ended up playing Uno only and talking over Discord to cheer me up. Always ending it with, stop listening to your birth-giving devil. She's wrong about everything and you know that. I love you today, tomorrow, next week, and until I die. I should finish the video saying that. Now go to sleep and forget today and dream about tomorrow. I love you, babe. And that's why I'm marrying him. Also, quick story. I met my own fiancé on a cruise when I was deep in depression. I almost didn't go on said cruise because I didn't want to put up with my mum trapped on a boat for a week. Then my best friend / maid of honor and her mum joined with my aunt and cousins. So I decided to go as a giant girls trip. I went to the kids club on Carnival and Tim and I were the first people there for 10 minutes. I went up and talked to him. He was shy, but opened up when I mentioned Metallica. We started dating and now we're engaged. I like to think it was fate telling me to stay alive, stay yourself for him. Oh, that's so wholesome, I love that story. Anyway, nowhere to go but forward from here, guys, and our next story is by Severe Item, titled, Entitled Parents Let Their Kids Play in Our Cactus Garden. Note, this was pre-corona. My parents have a house in the city, and I am home with them due to the pandemic. My house has a very small plot of dirt in front that is fenced in by a large black iron fence. It's very clear this is private property. My grandmother has a very green thumb, and brought some of her outdoor cactus, she lives in Connecticut, over to plant in the yard many years ago. They survive every winter and bloom in the summer, and are pretty cool plants. However, their needles / spines are very small and translucent. It is extremely hard to see them, and you can get pricked very easily. I myself have gotten pricked when tidying up the yard, and I obviously try to avoid the plants. The needles are also extremely hard to remove out of your skin. Are those like those little ones that are like hair? It's like you feel like you have extra hair and it just hurts so much. I hate that so much. My mum always used to decorate the garden by placing little models of dinosaurs or animals among the cactus. The kids around the neighborhood all loved it, and often when coming home, I would see some family with a young kid looking at the garden. It was cute, and my family had no issues. Until these entitled parents come along. My mum was in the house on a normal day when she heard some loud noises outside that weren't going away. So she looks outside and sees a group of parents with their kids. Their parents are standing outside and around the iron fence, while the kids are in the yard, which is almost completely covered in cactus. They are playing with the toy dinosaurs and animals while sitting in the cactus. It's clear the parents assumed the cactus didn't have any needles, because they aren't really visible to the human eye. You barely see the needles when they're in your skin. As my mum is looking at them, the parents see her and get their kids out of the yard and leave. Those parents are not going to have fun pulling hundreds and hundreds of translucent, tiny thin needles from their child's arms, legs, and butts. Edit. If you want to see what kind of cactus is in the garden, here is a link to the page that talks about them, which is the succulent prickly pear, or just Google images of eastern prickly pear cactuses. Edit 2. My parents took out all of the dinosaurs to avoid another incident. The parents luckily have not contacted us or attempted to engage in a lawsuit. Thank God. And our next post by user Kirsten Thomas. Entitled Mum thinks my Pokemon card can blind her kid. Among the various stories on this sub, here is a nice break from them. Our cast are Entitled Mother, Nice Kid, Wasn't Entitled at All, Store Owner, and me the Pokemon card collector. So I was at the shopping arcade that specializes in nerdy stuff. Lego, Goku figurines, Pokemon cards, etc. I was at a shop that sold Pokemon cards on the shelf, not just booster packs, but loose cards like X's, GX's, Full Arts, Rainbow Rares, etc. I took a card out from the shelf. It was a Full Art Cobalion GX, very rare. I don't know what that is. And went to the counter to pay. Then the Entitled Mother and Nice Kid came over to me, and this conversation happened. Entitled Mother's like, "Excuse me, but did you pay for this card?" "Yes, ma'am." "Yes, okay, whatever, but can I request that you don't show this card to my son?" What? I was not directly showing the card to your son. No, I meant, don't you look at the card at all? You could possibly blind someone." Now, I was very confused by what she meant. Exactly what did she mean by blindness? "I'm sorry, could you explain why I shouldn't look at the card?" "Well, when we saw you look at the card, the light from your card bounced into my son's eyes, and he almost got blinded. It's a safety hazard if you think about it." Now, for your information, the cards on the shelf were under a really bright mini spotlight, so it looked really nice displaying them, and so extra light would bounce off to grab the customer's attention. However, this happened when the card was already taken out of the bright shelf. Her son was not affected by the light whatsoever, plus Pokemon cards aren't that reflective and bright. So I'm sorry that you feel uncomfortable with the card, you don't have to buy it. "Where's the store owner? Let me talk to him." "He's over by the counter," points to the counter. Entitled Mother then walks over to the store owner. The store owner is just saying how rude and annoying she was, and hoped the store owner would handle things because he was pretty strict. After about a minute, then I had to go to pay. The store owner came over to us with Entitled Mother, and he's like, "So what's the problem, Entitled Mother? This card is going to cause someone to go blind in the store? My son almost got blinded by the light." "OP, what card's this?" "It's the Full Art Cobalion GX, store owner." "If it's the one where the person playing with it does not care about safety, then that's the card." Okay, now everyone in the store heard that and was in shock, especially the store owner. Calling someone who does not care about safety is a total no-go, especially to a card collector / player like me. So the store owner's like, "Listen woman, if you ever insult anyone here in the store again, I'm going to be talking about you to the arcade owner and you will be banned from this store. Understood?" "Whatever, let's go, Nice Kid. But I want to buy a card." "Shut up, let's go." Now that the Entitled Mother is gone, we were able to buy the card in peace. I left the store with my precious Full Art Cobalion GX, and went back to the MTR, that's what we call the subway or metro in Hong Kong, to a restaurant for dinner. I saw another post about someone thinking a symbol can blind someone, and now I have a similar experience to share with you. Link to the picture of the Full Art Cobalion GX. And there you go, that's what it looks like, if you guys didn't know what a Pokemon card looks like. Beautiful, gold and shiny. Also, I stopped watching after the 3rd or 4th season of Pokemon, so I don't know how you say it. Could be Cobalion, could be Cobalion. I call Rayquaza, Rayquaza, tomato, potato. So, moral, a Pokemon card will not blind you, even if it's super shiny. Pokemon cards aren't even that shiny anyways. Anyway guys, on to our next story, by Make Some More. What do you mean my kids don't get free ice cream? So here's a fun little story from my days working in fast food. The company I worked for had a pretty nice policy. Kids' meals came with toys, but the kids could exchange the unopened toys for a kid-sized ice cream cone. These cones only cost 89 cents, and we got to reuse the toy in another kid's meal bag. So basically, it evened out. One morning, a lady came in with 2 young children during breakfast hours. We do not have a breakfast kids menu, but since we serve nuggets all day long, some people order nugget meals for their kids and get hash browns instead of fries. However, this woman got full-sized breakfast meals for herself and both children. These meals were around $6 each, while kids' meals were cheaper. Obviously though, kids' meals had a lot less food. After the group finished their meal, the two kids came up to my register and asked, "Can we have ice cream?" So I entered 2 kid-sized cones and gave them the total. They stared blankly at me and said, we don't have any money," and ran back to their table. About a minute later, their mum came stomping up to me and demanded to speak to a manager. That's new. My manager swooped in and asked what the issue was. The kids' ice cream is supposed to be free?" "No, it's only free if you exchange the kids' toy." "But we didn't have kids' meals, it's breakfast." "Then the cones are 89 cents each." "That's not fair. They're kids. They should be given ice cream." "I'm sorry, but we can't just give away ice cream." "But the meals they had were more expensive than kids' meals." "And they had more food." "The place I go in, insert faraway location here, always gives my kids ice cream without a toy." "I apologize, but we do not do that here." "Now my kids are going to be upset because they couldn't have ice cream. I will be contacting corporate about this." She and the kids left, and we had a good laugh about it all. She did end up making a complaint to corporate, but my manager was actually the person that all corporate complaints filtered through, and she just had a good laugh and moved on. The end. And Karen did not live happily ever after, and her hair set on fire, so she didn't have a Karen haircut anymore. Anyway guys, on to the next story. Here's a long-ass post by a user, Fabulous Lil Queen. Slay Queen, slay. Homophobic entitled aunt finds out that I'm not straight. Hello cherubs, I'm back. So we're in lockdown at the minute, and I figured why not post another installment about my entitled auntie. It can help me pass some time and act as a kind of therapy. It's not been a fun week. Anyways, I'll probably post about how my entitled auntie reacted when she found out that I was a drag queen at some point this week. Not much else to do when you can't leave the house. Too true. But this story will focus on her meltdown upon finding out that I was gay. Entitled auntie was right. Shocker! Seriously though, I don't believe that my favorite color or toy as a child turned me gay. I was a fabulous biatch from the moment I was born. I remember that one, that was about the purple cast. What a crazy woman. Anyways, I'd have been 15 at the time of the story. Now this is around the age that kids, in the area I grew up anyways, would start to get their first boyfriends and girlfriends. Nothing serious or anything. Puppy love, I guess. It was around the time that I started to realize that I wasn't attracted to girls. I thought they were pretty funny, smart, etc., but I never wanted a girlfriend. It didn't take me long to figure out that I was gay. My mum had several gay friends, and even herself is bisexual, so coming out wasn't something that I never really feared. I told my mum that I was gay, and we were watching a movie, and she just gave me a hug, and told me that she loved me no matter what. Anyways, a couple of weeks later, we headed to my grandma and grandpa's house for a family barbecue, and of course, entitled aunt was there. Now, important note, I had brought my boyfriend with me. We had been best friends since we were like 5, and had started dating about a week or so before I told my mum. He's bisexual, so we'd been dating for just under a month at this point. Entitled aunt was the only one that didn't know about this. For obvious reasons. She's a bitch. Now, back to the story. We arrived at about 1 o'clock to help set up the tables for the rest of the family. The only other people there were my grandparents. My uncle, mum's side, uncle's wife, my older cousin, entitled auntie, and entitled cousin. I'm gonna guess that's what EC is. Everything was okay for a while, but of course, this didn't last. My grandpa was always welcoming to any friends or partners of the family, so he made sure that my boyfriend felt welcome too. After about an hour, my grandpa, uncle, and boyfriend decided to head up to the attic to get some fishing gear for my boyfriend. My grandpa was a hoarder and tended to buy a lot of stuff from car boot sales that he would give away to family and friends. Does anyone else's grandparents do that, or is it just mine? I wouldn't know, I don't have any grandparents left, sorry. That left myself, mum, grandma, old cousin, and entitled auntie. Uncle's wife had went to the store, and entitled cousin was playing in the park across the street. I was in the middle of braiding my older cousin's hair, Well, my boyfriend left, so he gave me a peck on the cheek and headed upstairs. And of course, entitled auntie was staring. She's like, "What was that?" "What was what? Did he just kiss you?" I start internally screaming. "Oh, yeah. You're not gonna do something about it? What do you mean, entitled auntie? I mean, you should knock that fairy out." What? Be a man for once, OP. Do you really want this guy taking advantage of you like that? But he's not taking advantage. Boys don't kiss other boys, OP. You know that. He's supposed to be your friend, and friends don't kiss each other. That's BS. I have a bunch of friends, male and female, that I have no issues being affectionate with. Grandma pipes in. She's like, "Oh, boyfriend isn't OP's friend. He's his boyfriend. Aren't they sweet?" Look, I love my grandma to pieces. She thought entitled mother only had a problem because she thought boyfriend and I were just friends. What? You're not serious, are you? OP's a what? Yes, boyfriend is OP's boyfriend. They are an adorable couple and everyone in the family has been accepting. Everyone else knows apart from me. OP, why would you do this to me? Entitled auntie, I didn't want to exclude you, but I knew you were going to act like this when I told you. OC's like, you constantly berate him for not being man enough, and use disgusting slurs when you talk about him. Can you blame OP for not wanting to tell you? I never meant it. That's just how I talk. If OP told me, then I would have stopped. No, you wouldn't. He asked you to stop countless times. So have I. Why do you think I have stopped talking to you for ages? I'm not taking that kind of attitude around my son. He's not going to feel unwelcome in his own family. But I'm not trying to make him uncomfortable. I can help him now that I know what the problem is. What do you mean help him? It's obvious, isn't it? He just hasn't met the right girl yet. He's only little. I'm not 5, entitled auntie. I'll help set him up with a nice girl. There are some lovely girls in our neighborhood who would love a boyfriend like OP. She turned to me, held my hand, because I'd finished braiding my cousin's hair by now, and smiled at me. She's like, "Doesn't that sound nice, OP? We'll get you a nice little girlfriend. A sweet boy like you wouldn't have any problems with girls, right?" Okay, first she winked at me. Gross. And secondly, I don't want a girlfriend, mate. Look, I don't want a girlfriend. I'm happy the way I am. You can't be happy like that, doll. You're gonna end up dead because of this. People get killed for being like that, you know? They get murdered by bigots like you who don't think it's right. It isn't right. I'm the only one looking out for OP. OC, if you weren't so obsessed with looking kind, then you would tell him that what he's doing is wrong. I don't want this kind of influence around EC. Then don't bring her to family events then. Entitled auntie, ignoring the older cousin and looking at my mum. You know there's some places in the world that do conversion therapy? I could help your little to pay him to get that. They'll be able to fix him. No, no, entitled auntie, stop. At this point, my cousin looks like she's about to punch this tram into the next week, and my mum and grandma are focused on trying to help me calm down. I felt like I was on the verge of a panic attack. Entitled auntie's like, "You encouraged this," pointing at my mum. "You let him act like a homophobic slur, all the time when he was little, playing with Barbies and wearing pink all the time. Actually, it was purple and red, entitled auntie. Get your facts straight." And grandma's like, "That's enough. If I hear any more of this nonsense, then you, an entitled child, can get your stuff and leave. You are not making my grandson uncomfortable on my watch." But I said enough. If you want to act like a psycho about it, then how about you go to your own mum's house? Huh, grandma knew this would piss entitled auntie off. Entitled auntie's mum and dad stopped talking to her after they caught her stealing from them. The only reason my grandparents allowed her to visit was so that entitled child wouldn't feel abandoned. Plus, they kept an eye on her and made sure nothing went missing. Entitled auntie looked like she both wanted to slap my grandma and burst into tears. Nothing else was said about this for the most part. My grandma pulled me aside and reminded me that she loved me and told me to ignore entitled aunt. She's just a bigot. I find out later that entitled auntie had been telling other members of the family about me being gay, hoping they would side with her. They didn't. She eventually left after a couple of hours, but made sure to share things online about conversion therapy, how gay people can be cured, and even gave my number to a few of her friends' daughters and nieces, trying to set me up with them. I actually have one of the girls as a friend online. She thought that entitled auntie was being ridiculous. Boyfriend and I dated till we were around 17. We are still good friends and text/video call whenever we can. He's currently studying abroad. He and my current boyfriend are really good friends as well. So that was my story of how my psychotic entitled auntie found out I was gay. I'm surprised she was actually shocked by it. I think everyone in my family saw it coming. Anyways, I hope to be able to post another installment soon. Stay safe, my lovelies. I hope y'all are having a great day despite the lockdown and stuff. And I hope you guys are having a good day despite the lockdown too. Tell me what you guys thought about this one down in the comments. Sometimes I say some bad swear words. Let's hope the YouTube hammer doesn't come down on me and I get banned. But you know, I'm not always afraid to speak my mind. It doesn't really look like too many other people are posting stories like this. Like, I tried looking up r/EntitledParents and like other subreddits, but most people are posting like one 10-minute video a day. Isn't that kind of like slack? I've got nothing else to be doing during this crisis that's going on, this Voldemort in the world. So I don't know. I feel like I'm one of the ones providing the most content during this, and I'm happy to do that for you guys. So tell me what you guys' thoughts are about everything Entitled Parents, the world, the Reddit community. Hope you guys have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to. I'm gonna read that line from the post now. I love you today, tomorrow, next week, and until I die. Now go to sleep and forget today and dream about tomorrow. I love you guys. See you in the next episode. Bye.